we are going to see the basic what we are going to do in IR. That is how we use software component and what is the interface object, what is the mapping.
Okay.
So hope you are clear up to importing the software component version in the IR, right?
Yeah, I'm clear.
Okay. So usually what will happen? The PA is a middleware. We are going to send the data from one system to another system. So we can say that system A to system B, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So system A will have one software component version, and system B will have one software component version, right? So in every communication, we will have two business systems and two technical systems. One is for sender, one is for receiver, and we will have two software component version. One is for sender and one is for receiver.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, fine.
Yeah, fine. So if you see in this diagram, we have software component 1 on the left side and the software component 2 on right side. So above the software component 1, you can see the outbound interface. Okay. So outbound is nothing but in the IDOC, what would you say outbound? When IDOC goes out from the ECC system, you will tell us outbound, right?
Exactly.
Right. But which IDOC come inside to the SAP system, we will call as a inbound, right?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. But when we are working on the middleware, we have to look at the source and target system, and we have to call it as outbound inbound. Like when data comes from source system to PI, we call it as outbound.
Okay.
If data goes from PI to target system, we call it as inbound. We talk in terms of source and target. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's another way. In IDOC, when IDOC goes out of ECC system, we call it as outbound. But in case of PA, when some data comes inside PA, we call it as outbound. When it's going out of here, we call it as inbound. Because PA is nothing but a middleware. That's why we are talking in terms of source and target.
Okay.
Are you clear?
Yeah.
So
when
yes.
Okay. When some data come into the PI, it is called an outbound.
Yes. When data goes out, that is inbound.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you see the picture, that is a software component 1, that is a sender. On top of that, you can find outbound interface. So everything, whatever comes inside, we are talking in terms of interface. Okay. So same like if you see the software component 2, that is nothing but inbound interface. So that inbound interface will be attached to the software component version 2. That we will see what will happen. This is some abstract information I'm giving you.
Okay.
So middle is the integration repository. From software component 1 via outbound interface, the data comes to the integration repository. You can see your outbound interface. Then it goes to the mapping. This is some German language. This is a structure and value mapping.
Okay.
Mapping happens in PI, and it goes output of the mapping as it goes into the inbound interface, and it goes to software component version 2.
Okay.
So this is structure. From software component 1, outbound interface, it comes to the mapping performs, then it goes as an inbound interface, and it goes to the software component version 2. This outbound interface is nothing but is the data structure of the message, outbound structure, and inbound interface is nothing but structure of the message which needs to go out. Okay.
Exactly.
In design then what we do, I told you we work with the integration builder. Integration builder gives the GUI to work with the IR objects. So it will give us a scenario editor, process editor, mapping editor, condition with the interface editor. So this I already explained you, like when we need to work on data types or message that these are objects in PI, so we will use the interface editor.
Okay.
When we need to create some context object, that time we will use condition editor. When we need to deal with mapping, that time we will use mapping editor. When we go for the business process and business scenarios, we will use according to that scenario editor, process editor.
Okay.
These are not you no need to install plugin for each and every editor. This always comes as a package.
Okay, I mean this all these editors, there is no new screen. Actually, it is on the same screen. You just we don't need to open a new session or something for these editors. I mean, are they separate or they are together?
No, they are together. We are going to work in a Java-based template. It is not like it's unlike other. You have to open one session. It's like we will see some objects, we double click it, then our editor will open automatically.
Okay.
It is not like we go and select scenario editor, process editor, mapping editor, condition editor, interface editor. You don't need to remember these names.
Okay.
Even no one will ask you about these names.
Okay, that's fine.
And software component version. So here they are giving software component version that we imported directly from the SLD. Usage dependency from SLD are reflected in the repository. So usage dependencies I told you that suppose if you have two software component version, the object which is created in the software component version, if you want to make use it in the software component version B, then we have to make the dependency. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember there is a tab dependency.
Yeah, that's what they are telling here. So basis object is nothing but there are some standard objects which SAP already provided. If we want to use, we can go ahead and open and use it like structures they already provided. I will show you that. Then for each software component version, the following can be assigned: a connection to an existing ABAP system for the import of IDOC and RFC interfaces. When we work with IDOC or RFC, when we are connecting to the SAP system, we no need to create the sender structure. We can directly import the IDOC structure from the EPC system and also RFC as well. When we go for the third party, that time we have to create some structure. What they it's like a XML structure what they are sending the data. But in case of IDOC, we don't need to create because we can download it from the SAP system.
Okay.
Also, when you work with the database system, you don't need to create the column. We can download that column from the SQL server directly.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's right. I mean, you can import this IDOC and RFC directly into the PI.
Yes, yes. Usually, what happens when we PI is mainly PI used for the mapping purpose. Mapping is nothing but the transformation of one structure into the another structure, right?
Exactly.
So every message will have a source structure and target structure.
Sure. Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. So instead of we go and create the structure explicitly, we can download that structure from the SAP system.
Okay.
So one or more namespaces. Namespace I will show you later. This is the namespace. Namespace is nothing but it is which is used to uniquely identify the object.
Okay.
Every object will have one namespace. So rather I can say we create one namespace. Under the namespace we create the object. So then, for example, in a system we may create hundreds of structure. A structure may have same name, right? So how you uniquely identify the name? So this namespace gives the unique identifier.
Okay.
Okay. When we create, you will understand those things.
Okay.
Same as we have XML namespace. When we create some structure, we can provide XML namespace. That those are provided to uniquely identify the object.
Okay.
That is naming convention is to URL and URL. Usually URL we know that HTTP something URL. When we create IDOC and when we import, it will come in the format of URL.
Okay.
URL is also same like URL.
Okay. You said that when we import any IDOC into PI, so it generates one URL for that.
Yes. The namespace. Namespace is important for PI because namespace is the only thing which uniquely identifies the object.
Okay.
So this would be some interview question. Why do we require namespace? Namespace is nothing but to uniquely identify the object.
Yeah.
Also, if you tell you are fresher, so then they can ask you what are the types of naming convention we have. You can tell these two. URL. Then interface objects. In PI, we create a data type, message type, like how we create basic type, message type. Okay, so those are called as interface objects.
Okay.
So data
interface
type
object is
yes.
Sorry. Interface object is nothing but a message type, huh?
Yeah. It's you can call it as IDOC. What IDOC has? IDOC has a basic type, message type, right? And linkage of this. That is IDOC. Okay. So you call it as IDOC. In PA we call it as an interface object.
Okay.
We create a data type that is nothing but the basic type, and we link that to the message type.
Okay.
That I will show you. The data types are mostly basic entities to define the structure of XML. This data type is nothing but this is, you can see this is a data type.
Exactly, yeah. Vendor name, last name.
So you can see some structure like vendor DP, vendor number, last name, search and currency, and we have some nested structure in that.
Exactly.
Okay. So this data structure is nothing but equal to XML schema, that is XSD. Have you heard about XSD?
Yeah, XML schema definition.
So this data type and message type we can import it as XSD as well.
Okay.
The data type editor provides all XSD basic data type. XSD basic data type means string, float, double. Those are XSD basic data type.
Okay. So we can only allow to use this.
Yeah, you can see a type. This is nothing but the XSD basic data type. You can see string. So it has a string, integer, a character.
Okay.
So nesting of the data type is possible. Nesting of data type is nothing but this is one data type and this is another data type. Nested data type into the, we create one segment and the segment can be nested into the another segment, right? So same like we create one data type, we can make it as a nested to some other data type.
Yeah.
Then export of data type in XSD format possible. Like you can create one data type in PA, you can export that as a XSD. XSD schema. Then message type.
I mean, this is same like creating like the structure for IDOC. Only thing is different is the data types actually. The type. It should be like in all are provided by. I mean, you can only take from XSD. You can declare your fields only at XSD types.
Yes, XSD type. Then
just one more thing. It's like after what was the last point? Export of data type in XSD format.
Yeah. I mean, you know that XSD is nothing but the XML schema, right? So we can import. This structure is nothing but the XSD structure. If someone provides you the XSD structure, you don't need to go on. We can import into the PA, so then this structure will be available. Else, if someone requires XSD from PI, you can create structure here. You can here you can find the tag XSD.
Okay.
You click that one so that this structure will available in the XSD format.
Okay. Okay.
So then you can export it if you need.
Okay, that's fine.
Then the next interface object is message type. The message type corresponds to the root of the XML message. The data type is nothing but the basic structure of the message. If you see the terminology, every XML should have a root. Message type will act as a root for this XML message.
Okay.
Okay. So when we create, you will understand exactly. This is the way SAP defined it. Message, you can be asked the question why message type is featured. You can answer that. Message type is nothing but the root for the XML message.
XML message. Okay. Root for the, so our first field was vendor underscore D. This is the here it is the message type. It is
vendor is the message type. Okay. When we create, you will understand exactly. Name and namespace must match exactly the root of the XML business document. The namespace, whatever we can provide a namespace. You can see the namespace. The message type reference one single data type. We can refer only one single data type to a message type. We cannot refer two data types to a single message type. That is a 1:1 relationship. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, Tavesh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
The message type can refer only one single data type. It is 1:1 relationship.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's the same like assigning IDOC to the message type, huh?
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Okay.
Then the XSD representation available for export. That you know what is that.
Available for export. Okay.
The next interface object is message interface.
Okay.
Okay. The message interface you can say like a process code. Okay. Or you can say something, I don't know exactly what to say. It will define whether that is outbound or inbound.
Okay.
The message type is whether belongs to outbound or inbound. It will define the type of communication, whether it's going to perform outbound communication or inbound communication.
So it means that you have to, when you are creating your outbound, you have to, I mean, somewhere you need to assign this message as a, this message is the outbound. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
And this is the inbound, something like that. Okay.
How do you compare that with IDOC structure? I guess partner profile. Maybe because in partner profile only you mentioning that which is outbound parameter and inbound parameter.
Exactly. Yeah,
so
exactly.
The message interface is the highest representation of the XML metadata, inbound or outbound, respective to the application or abstract. When we say here outbound, it means source structure. When we say inbound, that is the target structure.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Other thing we have BPM. BPM is nothing but business process management. BPM is nothing but workflow.
Workflow. Yeah.
So when we work with workflow, we can create abstract data type, abstract interface. So that has neither outbound nor inbound. That has no direction.
Okay.
Okay. So we have two mode of communication, synchronous and asynchronous. You know what is this?
Yeah, this fine.
Yeah. So reference fault message type for exception analysis. So we have a fault message type also. Fault message type is nothing but suppose you are sending data to the target system and it has failed there. So it has to send some fault message to the source. So there will be some standard format. That is nothing but the data type available standard. So that is a faulty message type.
So it is done by PI automatically, or it is like we have to?
It depends.
Okay.
Depends upon communication and what is the mode you are using it.
Okay.
Reference WSDL representation available for export. Like XSD, WSDL is also the type of language which you can export the structure of the data. With the web service description language. WSDL is nothing but web service description language.
Definition language, exactly.
WSDL
is actually it identify the location. I read on the internet that it identifies the location and the method exposed by an interface. It has
Also,
both the information.
Yeah, also that contains the structure of the message.
Exactly, structure of the
Starting point for proxy generation, from the message type only we create the proxy in ABAP system. Have you worked on proxies?
Actually, a long time back, it's like when I was doing some Java programming. So in that we have used this proxy when we are using beans and stuff. So there is a proxy interface generated or something. So at that time I worked, but it's been a long time now.
Yeah, fine. When we work for the Java proxies or other proxies, you need to generate some proxies, right? So that proxy in message interface only you have to generate the proxy.
Okay, that's fine.
So that's what they are saying, starting point for proxy generation. And context object can be assumed. Context object is nothing but a context object will refer to a particular field in the structure. That is nothing but XPath. Do you have an XPath?
Sorry, what is context object?
Do you aware of XPath?
No.
Okay. So XPath is nothing but suppose
okay. Yeah, XPath. Sorry. Yeah,
so
XPath.
I know have paths like vendor DP, address, then country. There will be some path. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, I read about like XPath is used to query a particular node in an XML document.
Yeah, exactly. So, for example, if you want to use this country in multiple places, instead of providing the structure and everything, you can create one XPath for this country field and you can use it anywhere. That XPath in PA we call it as a context object.
Okay.
Then that's what here they mention in context object, pointed to a physical element within the message for a future reference. You can refer it anywhere. Sometimes in ID part we will record some field value. For example, if you are routing messages to the multiple system based on a single field, so you cannot use any of your old structure, right? So you can refer only that context object there.
Yeah, they have they make an oval, they make circle this context object on the right side, lower right side. So we can it's like we can put some constant value or something to
no, actually context is nothing but this data is dynamic, right? This is not used for context. For example, you have a message server. You need to send data to the multiple system. You can say you have multiple vendor A, B, C. Okay. So depending upon some vendor identification field, your data need to route to vendor A or B or C. So that particular identifier will set as a context object. Suppose if the context object have a vendor ID A, then it will go to the vendor A. If it has a vendor ID B, it will go to B. If it has an ID C, it will go to C. So that particular field will be the dynamic, right? The data will be
Yeah. That's cool. No, I understand. It's like you can use it to route your message according to a particular condition.
Yeah. The context object is nothing but it's referring one field, that's all. That field may have any value, any data.
Yeah. Okay.
Then they are saying about proxy generation, separation of business application logic from XI connectivity. So it's like in proxy statement separating the business logic from the XI. That we build completely the business logic in the application system, not in PA.
Okay.
We create
ECC system.
Yeah, if it is other proxy, then in the application logic would be in ECC system. If it is Java, then we just download the proxy and we start developing the backend thing from the Java server.
You mean it's like this can be like can be an initiator program also. I mean, like for the proxy, you do all your coding. What I'm trying to say, like the IDOC, for example. For to initiate the process, it's like we write some code. Okay, we extract some data from the table, and then later on we call a function module to generate this IDOC. Okay. Similarly, it is like that. I mean, you write all the extraction. I mean, for example, if there is some table in SAP, you write a code to extract the value, and then you call some particular function module to generate this IDOC as an XML or something.
It how happens is like the proxy is nothing but you will in background the function module will execute. After the output in IDOC, the output will be the IDOC structure. But in proxy is nothing but it will call some function module that will then call the proxy classes in ABAP system that will call the integration engine and it creates the XML. Instead of some IDOC structure or ROC structure, it creates some XML structure which PA can understand.
So if there is...
So that you will get that structure, you need to get that structure from some system. That structure you will get it from PA.
Okay.
In PA, it is not a when we say the proxy, we are exposing the proxy, we are just giving the structure to the other system.
Okay.
Like how we download the IDOC structure from ECC system to PI. Like that, when we go for the proxy, you download the structure from PI system.
Okay. Okay, so it is, I mean, you download it and then it will generate some code, okay, and whatever changes you want to make, you can go and, I mean, you can go into that program and you can change it, something like that?
Yeah, I will say what happens in the proxy case. In PA, we will generate one data type like this. It will be data type something like this creating PA. So then we will give that message interface. We will attach this message type into the outbound interface and we will give the interface name to the ABAP developer. What they will do, they connect, they have a translation code, proxy, through that they can connect to the PA system and they can download the structure. Once they download the structure, in ECC backend, it creates the class. Okay?
Okay.
Backend it will create the class.
Okay.
We will do all your coding and finally what you will do, like how you are exporting the parameters to the function modules, you will export those values to the classes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean now it is a little bit clear, but obviously when we do practical, so we'll see. Okay.
This proxy we won't will have a practical. That's what I am explaining more. In function module, in background, how will you export the parameters? Same like have you worked on ABAP object?
Yeah.
So when in ABAP object, in every class, every method will have import and export parameter.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So in that import parameter, you will pass in the data. So then that will in fact create the proxy messages and trigger to the PA.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. It is quite clear, by the way.
I don't have knowledge in Java process. I never worked on and usually we don't do anything in Java.
Yeah, for me also it's like a long time.
Yeah. This is adapterless communication because we don't require adapter because the data is coming from out of ECC's XML machine. So we don't require adapter for that.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't need an adapter because it is already in the XML form.
Yes. You can see here. This is the integration engine to integration engine communication.
Yeah, and see there is a business function, and on top of it there is like a big circle of the proxy.
Yes.
Okay.
The circle is integration engine in ABAP system. Application system, not EPC system. We have a proxy. This blue color is the proxy. In that you have business function. That proxy will call the integration engine, and integration engine to integration engine communication will happen. Integration engine can understand only XML.
Now it's clear, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Then proxy framework, hide technical details from application developer, like this is general. It hides the technical details from the developer. Transform language specific data structure into XML and vice versa. Ensure technical connectivity with the integration engine, guarantees deliver. There is nothing to expect. It's a direct thing.
I mean, like from the architecture, it is clear now. But the thing is, how difficult it is like to manage this classes generated by the proxy.
See, if you know ABAP objects, then you can figure it out.
Okay.
You go to your xproxy C code in your landscape, then you will see the IR part in that. Okay. You will see the IR part. You just navigate to the message interface that I will teach you today, and right click and the option will appear. You just click the generate proxy. It will create a class. After that, it's depending upon your coding knowledge.
Okay. I mean, it's like normal ABAP code.
Yeah, normal ABAP code.
Okay. Manikan, just a minute. Hello. वालेकुम सलाम. अच्छा. हाँ चलो सही है, लेकिन अभी यार कितना रुपए हैं तो ये अभी आज तो नहीं होगा, कल ही होगा. अच्छा चलो मैं लास्ट पार्ट में बात करता हूँ. अभी मेरी यार मैं एक क्लास में बैठा हूँ. हाँ ठीक है, तो मैं अभी ये क्लास से फारिग हुआ, मैं कहीं पे क्लास ले रहा हूँ. ठीक है ना, तो हाँ मैं समझ लो कि मदरसे में, तो बस मैं वहाँ से निकलूंगा तो फिर मैं बात करता हूँ. ठीक है ना. हाँ नवाज से कर लो ना, नवाज को भी तो अच्छा हो गया ना. चलो ठीक. ओके मेरे. ओके सलाम. Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. This is whatever I explained you here. It is message interface of the basic of the proxy generation. From the message interface, you can download the proxy, because in proxy we have two types: client proxy and server proxy. Server proxy is nothing but outbound. Client proxy is nothing but inbound.
Okay.
So because we need to know the direction, that's why we have to generate the proxy from the message interface.
The server proxy is the outbound, and the client proxy is nothing but inbound.
Yeah. That's the name we call it as. Same concept for other than Java, but different procedure. JDB proxies are generated from the IR as jar file. When you generate the proxy in the ABAP, it will create as a jar file. When you expose the ABAP proxies that are generated as a WSDL presentation of the interface.
Okay. ABAP proxy are generated from application client based on the WSDL representation of the message interface. And some rules and restrictions are in effect for the conversion of XSD data into Java. There are some restrictions, like you should not use ampersand, those things are there. So when you actually work on the proxy, those restrictions you will know that. Okay.
Then we go for the mapping concept. Mapping is nothing but the transformation from one message structure to another structure. You can see here there is one structure that is transformed into the another structure. Okay. So transformation rules defined by mapping program.
Okay.
That's what they are telling. This is one structure and it transformed to the another structure.
Fine.
In mapping, we have two kinds. One is structure mapping, another one is the value mapping. Value mapping is simple. We are mapping one value into the another value. Like if you see the business class is business class, but when it goes to the target, it goes as a 2. So we are mapping the values. Structure mapping is one thing, and value mapping is another thing. Can you spot the difference?
Yeah, it means it is like structure mapping is something, the name.
Yes.
And value mapping is like the value of that field or something.
A particular value. Structure mapping is nothing but transforming one structure into the another structure. Value mapping is nothing but transforming one value into another value.
Okay, but how it is like mapping this business to the value 2 or something? I mean,
maybe this might be the business class. You might have code for business class, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's possible.
They are given some flight as an example, like flight number is 087, passenger name, and the class is 2. In target, they are for business class, they might be telling as a code 2, right? For example, if you tell to the passenger that your class is 2, he won't understand. He will understand whether it's economy or business class. But internally, SAP system can understand. If it is 2, then that is a business class, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So then we go to types of mapping techniques. I told you we have 4 types of mapping techniques. One is the message mapping, that is completely graphical design based, and we have test environment. We can create mapping and we can test that. That is queue-based model allows handling of very large documents. All the messages goes into the queue and it's processed there. Extensible via Java user defined function. It means it provides you that you can write your Java code. Understand?
Yeah.
Then next thing is XSLT, extensive style sheet language. It is an open standard, portable, that you can write code anywhere and you can use it anywhere. Extensible via Java user defined function. It is also provides a window to write a Java code in the mapping, and memory override for very large documents. When we go to the Java, flexibility of Java programming language. If you know the Java, you can write the mapping in the Java code. Java mapping program is responsible for parsing and rendering XML. Parsing is nothing but navigating one by one field.
Yeah. But one thing, it's like, for this Java and XSLT, they are saying. So, I mean, with every field, we can, there is a place where we can write the code to define probably the rules or something. It is like this?
Yeah, we will have a mapping editor. In that mapping editor, we will write our rules.
Okay. So you can write in Java, or you can write in a web, or you can use XSLT.
Yes.
Okay.
Other leveraging existing ABAP base. Same, we will use the ABAP thing as a base. ABAP mapping program is responsible for passing and rendering XML. Same like we can pass through the data and we can write it. You need ABAP object knowledge to write the ABAP mapping.
Okay.
Because it deals with classes and everything. You need to write the code in SE24.
Okay. So it means is there this will cater all the requirements? I mean, for example, if there is a scenario in which we have to write, the only possibility is to write the Java coding. I mean, use of the Java option. So, are there any possibility, or it is like it treat as a platform independent sort of?
It's nothing like, we have 4 types of mapping. Whatever you find feasible, you go for it. The priority is message mapping because it is very easy. It's graphical thing. The second would be Java because mostly people know Java and it will increase the performance. Because even when you go for the message mapping, in background it will create the Java code. The third one would be the SAP, and fourth one would be the attack.
So,
depending
choose
upon
anyone.
Yeah, depending upon your comfortable zone. Usually 95% priority on message mapping, and if logic is very complex, then you can go for the Java mapping. Usually people will use only these two. You can see 1% writing XLT mapping. I never seen ABAP mapping.
Okay.
People don't go for ABAP mapping.
Okay.
Then mapping objects, graphical mapping tool, graphically defined mapping tools between source and target message. The queue-based model allows for handling of extremely large documents. It's simply drag and drop. You can drag and drop, and everything component will be available. Generates internal Java code. In background, it generates Java code. Built-in and user-defined function. It will provide you the exit. You can write some extra code also. Integrated testing tool. It has a testing tool also. You can after written your logic, you can test the mapping also. And N:1 mapping possible for use with BPM only. N:1 you can understand, right?
N:1 mapping means
you might be sending incoming would be 2-3 documents, output might be 4-5 documents.
Yeah, okay.
Then message mapping editor. This is the message mapping editor. This is a structure overview. This is a source structure. This is a target structure. The data flow editor. You can see your ID of source. This is a source, and you can see your ID. This is the target. This is how we mapping. We just drag one arrow from here and we drop it.
The screen doesn't change. It's on the old slide.
Yeah, it's old slide. But everything is here. You have to drag and drop that part.
Okay.
That's what I told. If you learn XI 3.0, you can work up to latest mapping. The look and feel change, but functionality never change. Again, they are telling same thing. We have interface mapping. The next to the mapping. In mapping, we are just mapping 2 structures. Okay. In interface mapping, we are telling which one is what type of mapping is that. Like we will assign in the interface level which is the outbound, which is the inbound, and what type of mapping we are going to use in that interface. Whether it's ABAP mapping, Java, or ABAP SSLT. And mapping program can be combined in a sequence. It's like you have some complex logic and you have written some part in the message mapping, and you have written some part in Java mapping, and some part you have written in XLT mapping. You can sequence it. First message mapping should execute, then Java mapping, then XLT mapping.
Okay.
Series of mapping is possible. Then M-Intent interface mapping also possible. For synchronous interface, a request and response mapping can be provided. Synchronous means the data will come from source system, it will go to the target. From target, response would go back to the source system. So 2 mapping will happen. The request mapping is nothing but source to target, and the response mapping is target from source.
Okay.
Mapping objects, imported archive. Imported archives are nothing but when you create the XLT mapping or Java mapping, you have to import into the PA system as a jar file, zip or jar format. So that will import. You need some place to import. That is called as imported archive. we have some archives that we have to import.
Okay.
The archive is uploaded from the user website. So we can directly upload from the system presentation server. Integration repository can serve as a central maintenance location for imported objects. Whatever we import, we have to save it in integration repository. That's what they're telling me.
Okay.
Then what are actually business scenarios? In Excel, we have something called business scenario. Business scenarios is nothing but it's a overall flow, how the data comes and where it goes. It's some high level representation.
Okay.
That they call this as a business scenario. But mostly we never work on business scenarios. Whenever SAP delivers some standard object, they provide the business scenario to understand what is the flow.
So what it is like a documentation, or it is like it is generating something in the backend?
Inside here, I will expand it.
Yeah.
So it will box what is the source, and it will explain what it does. See here, the publish, demand, and inventory. This is the one system. This is a manufacturer SAP ERP system. It's a
Sorry, Manika.
It's something supply template. So it tells that the publish, demand, this system involved in the scenario. So how the
Sorry, there was too much distraction. I could not hear you properly.
Almost now?
Yeah, it's fine now.
Okay. So it tells about the business scenario. What is your actual scenario? For example, if you see here, manufacturer system R3, manufacturer system SCM, some supply templates. That could be some anything that.
Okay.
It says what will happen. What is the flow? First, publish, demand, and inventory. When you publish, it goes to the SCM system. This is demand and inventory and update inventory. Then what happens? In the third step, they create and publish the shipping notification that again come to the SCM. Then receive shipping notification and update inventory. Then replicate shipping notification to the backend system. It goes back, receive shipping notification, then publish goods receipt notification. So this is the one flow. Again, where it goes. So the business scenario is nothing but explaining how the scenario moves from one system to another system and what is it. High level representation of the scenario.
So this is like only for the documentation purpose. Like
this is
so
for
anybody
purpose.
can Okay.
By using this, they can simulate that how the exact scenario will be.
Exactly. Yeah, because it makes sense. Like for any integration
It's a
scenario,
modeling.
So
It's a modeling. I hope you might have heard about modeling.
Yeah.
Usually, the business people uses modeling. They go to the customer and they create scenario like this and they explain from data goes here and they simulate the scenario.
Okay.
So that's what they are explaining here.
Okay.
And you can design a new object for existing business process. Here they are explaining about the workflow. Whenever you use workflows, you can change, receive, and trigger process. Then transform this all you will be using in the workflow. Then transform is nothing but the message split or merge. Merge is nothing but merging the 2-3 structures. Split is nothing but splitting the one structure into the many. Collect messages, collect pattern. You can collect multiple messages. Multicast is multiple. Serialization. The data will go as a serialized. Then these workflows has the process control elements such as which assign, fork, wait, block, loop control, deadlines, exception handling, conditions. The workflows has all these objects. These objects has been used for different purpose like Control element is nothing but it controls the flow. Switch is nothing but switching one process to another process, assigns the process. Fork is nothing but, have you worked on workflow?
Yeah. I'm actually the workflow consultant.
So
Yeah,
who
so all
might
these
know
things are
what
there.
are this, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it seems good, like for the BPM, probably when I start, I mean, the PI thing, so probably I will try to use this BPM, so to,
That's right. Then suppose if you are importing something from PI, what could be that type of language? Okay, if you are importing the business process, that would be the BPL language, business process execution language. That is workflow. When you import the workflow, that will be as a language of BPL.
okay.
For mapping, you can use XML and Java that you can import and export. For interface level, you can use WSDL, XSD, and DPD. These are background types. What kind of language that belongs to? This DTD, XSD, WSDL. These are all belongs to XML, I guess.
Yeah, actually, at one point it seems like architecture level and at discussion level it sounds not that difficult. But I don't know how much we have to work on all these individual languages. Or
No, you won't work. These are the background. Like I told you, right? We are mapping. We work with the graphical. But when you execute it, background it will generate as a Java code. So like that, suppose you created workflow in ABAP system, you want to upload that workflow into the PI, then how will you import and export? Then when you import, you will import as a DPL. DPL is kind of language. We won't work on that. We will get one package. So what that package contains, nothing but DPL language. That's all.
okay.
We won't work on all this.
Okay. That's good, by the way.
Import and export of RFPs and IDOC. That told you how can we import. We will have some windows. I will show you those things. So this will have some. You have to import some SAP objects. Then you have to give the information about the SAP system. So this is a 3-mark structure. When you import from ECC to PI, it will look like this.
Okay.
Structure, XSD, WSD. You can import it as XSD and you can import it as a WSD also. Then here some miscellaneous what are we discussed there, discussed in here it is same thing. Some copyright. Satish, give me a minute, I will have water and go.
Yeah, sure. I'm also going to take water now.
Satish, did you open this configuration? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm opening the ESR. What is the user, Ramesh?
Sorry?
Do you remember the user ID and password?
Yeah, I have in my email. Password is capital A B C D and 1 2 3. The user ID I don't know. Simply learn. Just let me check. Huh? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It is American. You want it?
I'm taking it.
Yeah.
I couldn't find that.
Yeah. I can tell you.
Yeah.
It is simply
Okay.
PI. Simply PI. Let me
SIMPLI.
PLI, yes. Simply PI 061.
PI
61.
Okay.
And password is SAP 123. SAP 123.
No.
Just wait. The user ID is simply PI 061.
Can you spell it? SIMPLY
PLI.
PLI
Then PI
PI
061.
061
Yeah.
SAP 123, right?
SAP 123. Yeah. Actually, what you are typing, I cannot.
Oh, you couldn't see.
Yeah.
Mm.
It is stuck. It's showing like in the user ID, it is still SIMP. That's all. Yeah.
Maybe your page might not update it. Refresh the page.
Okay. Yeah. I go once again. Do once again.
Actually, it's loading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. American. It's not Y. It is I.
Okay, okay. Fine.
SIPLI. Yeah. PI 061. Yeah. No. 061. And password is the same. SAP 123.
I don't know, it's not opening PA server.
American, you remember it is not opening in the Internet Explorer. So we tried on this Firefox.
No, actually, when this page opens, it should open.
SAP PI 061. Yeah, this is the one. Go back. Yeah, I think it's work. पानी नहीं पीना, टॉफी खाने के बाद नहीं पीते पानी। आना जानी उसको पानी करने का आवाज आ रही है। Hello?
The database is opening. Cannot connect to the server. It's showing some error.
Internal error during authentication. Probably the password. Problem is logging on.
I mean, due to these few failed attempts, probably
No,
would have lost.
no. It's something instance number like the type of instance.
Yes.
Are you saying some wrong parameters during setup where database processing was incorrect?
I mean, just try once again. Probably.
No,
Okay. Yeah, it is trying to connect, but failing.
This is not connecting. There is some parameter they have mentioned wrong. Actually, what will happen when we click here? It will connect to the SLT. From SLT, it will fetch the URL.
Mm-hmm. I mean, is there anybody available to support us in this?
Sorry.
I mean, is there anybody available to support on this?
I guess we have to tell Mahima so then he will raise the ticket further. Rest of things are opening. It's not opening only this code. The SLE is opening.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means. Both is not out. Tabish, I will do one thing. I will send mail to Mahima about this.
Mm-hmm.
FLD is working. You just practice FLD. If you have any doubt, I will send you mail once. Let him create the ticket or whatever we can do that.
Okay.
Then we'll continue it tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. Actually, the interesting part is to start it now, and unfortunately.
Yeah, it happens like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's why usually what will happen, usually this kind of learning centers, they go for the third party, because there is someone will be available to check on the servers, else they have to keep on live for this. Let's see tomorrow.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
So I will, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Manika. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.